What's going on? Today I am going to go over all the questions that you asked me on my story. I had awesome questions from people throughout, and thank you, Dorian, for sending me that question. I'm gonna go over how to rewire your brain so you can become more successful and see more opportunities. And so I'm gonna talk about how I rewired my brain and how I went from broke kid, $100,000 in debt. Well, I wasn't actually a kid. I was in my 30s, well into my 30s. I was 32, $100,000 in debt, credit card debt, which wasn't a great feeling. And I was just fearing for everything, going to bed in fear, being scared of what's going to happen. How am I going to get deals? I just started real estate and I had this fear replaying and replaying throughout my mind. And so I want to talk about how we can become rich, but not talking about money, but how can we control what's inside of us? Because if you're not rich on the inside, and the number one thing that we need to control is the inside, internally. How do we control the inside? Because you can't be rich on the outside, which is what we're seeing currently, if you're not rich on the inside. So I'm gonna go over exactly what I did to get to $100,000 in 1 month. And it's all based on a mindset that you need to develop. And it's not only mindset, it's 4 key things that I'm going to share with you to rewire your brain so you can manifest whatever it is that you want. And it works for relationships, it works for health, it works for business, it works for anything you want, how you can manifest and bring this all about. And it's through the law of attraction. And the law of attraction states whatever you think about, you will bring about. That's not necessarily true, because not only thinking, it's not, okay, I'm thinking of becoming a millionaire, I want to be a millionaire, I want all this money, I'm just thinking, but nothing is happening. Nothing happens, right? So it's like law of attraction got one part of manifesting, right? Is yes, it starts with a thought, but let me go over the 4 key components for you in order to manifest whatever it is you want, financially, spiritually, relationship wise, and also health wise. And I'm gonna start off with the number one thing you need to do is to have commitment and consistency. Have you guys ever started a goal? Let's just talk about the new year. Everybody wants to start a goal on the new year, but what happens? They start a goal, they get excited, they want to get fit, they want to get healthy, they want to start going to the gym often, they want to start eating healthier and being a healthier person. But what happens is people will fall off after several weeks. And why does that happen? It's because there's no foundation set. And when I say commitment and consistency, you have to be absolutely committed, because it can't just be, I want to pay my bills, I want to have more money, or I just want to look great. But why? You have to have a deeper why, and you have to dig deep. It can't just be, okay, let's talk about money. For instance, I was $100,000 in debt. It couldn't just be, I wanted to pay off my $100,000. Nothing was changing. I needed a stronger why. My why was, I need to be financially free. And so this is turning it into a positive thought, looking to be financially free. So whenever I traveled, if I go somewhere, I didn't want to look at a bill and have a certain feeling about it. I just wanted to, okay, here's the bill. We're at a restaurant. I'm not afraid. I don't have a fear-based mindset. So I wanted to make sure I was financially free. I wanted to give back to the people and show others that this can be done. My why is to show others that yes, you can turn your life around too. If I was able to do it, you can. So it all starts with a deeper why, and you have to stay consistent. This is an everyday thing. Every single day that this happens, not just once, but every single day. So commitment and consistency is number 1. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 is you have to operate from inspiration, not desperation. Have you ever met a person that was so desperate to sell a house, or I need a deal, I need. I need this, I need that. You're coming from a point of needing, and that's a fear-based mentality. So whatever you're thinking about and you're talking about, and if you're in need, you will definitely get the same thing replayed in your reality. You can't operate on fear. That's fear. So you can't think about the things that you don't want. You have to think about the things that you do want, and it has to be through positive affirmations, positive thinking. So instead of framing it, I need, what inspires you to take the action? You have to operate from inspiration, and inspiration starts with positivity. You have to think positive. It's positive thoughts. Now, number 3, the third thing that you do need to understand is it's all in the feelings when manifesting. It's not just thinking, it's not taking action, it's also in the feelings. And this is a big part of manifestation, is it is truly in the feelings. What would it feel like to have a certain thing that you want to have? My favorite quote that I ran into from Wayne Dyer is, you'll see it when you believe it. But most people think, oh, I won't believe it until I see it. And that's the wrong way to think. Is you can't have that thinking. You have to have a belief now. It's not when I see it. And this could be all the programming being brought up and all the habits and everything that was programmed into our minds as kids. And it happened to me as a kid. I had to change the way I was thinking. Our parents were thinking this. Oh yeah, turn down the heat. Oh yeah, we can't have the heater on. Don't waste water. This and that. This is all from a lack mindset, and this is all programming throughout as kids. But I had to break through this in order to get to where I am today. So it's all in the feelings. And when I say it's all in the feelings, you have to operate from acting as if you already have it. So it's believing that you already have whatever it is that you desire. I want to talk about the subconscious mind because there's a quote by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And if you guys haven't read this book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, I'm going to give you an example. He says in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, your mind cannot distinguish between reality and imagination. So it responds to thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Whatever you're suggesting to yourself, it will replay in your outer world. And I am getting a little bit spiritual here, but it is, if you look at any other real estate agent, they hold open houses, they do all their cold calling, they're taking so much action, but nothing's happening. It's because they're not following these 4 steps that I just explained. And so it is all in the feelings, and you have to get yourself to this state, and it's through meditations, whatever, prayer, whatever your belief is. That's how I got past being broke to making consistent income. And so number 4 is follow the signs and do the work. You can't just talk about it, think about it, and then say all these affirmations to yourself, but you have to do the work. And when we ask, what's the work? How do we know what the work is? You will understand what the work is because you will be taking inspired action from 1, 2, and 3, those steps, in order to do the work. You'll know what work to do. All the opportunities will start arising in front of you, and you will finally know and recognize it that, okay, I've been manifesting, I've been meditating, I've been taking action, I've been putting myself in places in order to get to what I want to achieve. And so follow the signs. I want to tell you a story about the man that was stuck on a roof and there was a flood coming. And this guy believed in God. He had strong faith and belief that God would save him, but he was stuck on a roof and the river was flooding. Shortly after, a neighbor came in a small boat and said, hey, hop in, I can save you. And the man on the roof that was stranded said, no, thank you, I'm waiting for God to save me. The water continued to rise, and soon another boat came by, and the rescuers said, hey, get in my boat, we'll take you to safety. But again, the man declined, and he said, no thanks, I'm waiting for God to save me. Finally, a helicopter flew overhead, and the pilot shouted through a loudspeaker, this is your last chance, grab the rope, pull you to safety. Yet again, the man refused, saying, no thank you, I'm waiting for God to save me. The man eventually drowned because the water rose too high. And when he got to heaven, the man stood before God, confused and upset. I prayed for you to save me. Why didn't you come? God gently replied and said, I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. What were you waiting for? So the lesson of the story is that help often comes in forms of ways we may not expect it. And we must be willing to recognize it and accept the help. Sometimes it's in divine assistance that may look like ordinary opportunities for people showing up at the right time, but this is what I mean, that you do have to follow the signs and do the work. So that's the 4 things that I spoke about in order to get this manifestation happening for you. Is number 1, commitment and consistency. 2, operate from inspiration, not desperation. 3, it's all in the feelings. And then last but not least, follow the signs and do the work. Just thinking about stuff and not taking action will not get you to where you are. And so the moment I did that is when I started seeing business come through and multiple closings happening. How I got these deals is I put myself in position to manifest the right clients, the right buyers, the right sellers, but manifestation, I took action. I actually went to broker opens, toured homes, did my open houses, and then I also posted on social media. And this is all the action I took led me to all the new opportunities and all the people coming into my life when I didn't see it in the beginning, because in the beginning my mind was so clouded full of fear-based things, lack mindset, not believing that I already had it. But once I switched that, I started to see the opportunities. And so do the work, and that's how you rewire your brain to change your life. And this is my journey. If you want to learn more about how to manifest, how to pray, and or whatever it is that you want to have in life, whether it's the right partner or spouse, health wise or business wise, I am here to help you. This is something that I'm truly passionate about, and that's what I want to do. This is my why, is to help others achieve the things that I've achieved. That brings it to the end here. Thank you all so much for joining in. Hopefully this video was helpful for you, and if you want to learn more of how to generate leads or how to develop a winning mindset, especially in times of today where people are struggling, people are desperate, and people aren't doing the production that they were doing a few years back. There are still people selling, there are still people doing business. You just have to have the right mindset. So thank you again so much for joining. I'm happy to help. Shoot me a DM if you have any questions, and you guys have a wonderful Tuesday.